Guys, I just spent thousands of dollars on Chinese-made eBay parts. The mission was to find the best manufacturer that is the equivalent to the Italian-made products, and I was not disappointed. This Aprilia RS660 is what I'm going to be utilizing to install the parts. By the time we're done with this bike, it's going to look completely different. The whole bike is going to have a makeover. So if you want to save some money, please consider subscribing to this channel because I'm going to be testing out all of these parts. None of this has been sponsored. Everything I've paid out of my own pocket. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Max and this is 32.6. Enjoy. Now I thought it was going to be straightforward. Swap some clip-ons, tighten a few bolts, easy. But this is an Aprilia RS660 and it's Italian, which means everything is beautifully over-engineered, designed purely to test your patience and vocabulary. All right, so let's take a closer look. So this is the triple clamp, snapped off from here. So we have to remove this. And this thing here looks like it's cracked as well. So have the lever that's bent, which is going to be replaced. So yeah, let's get into it. When you upgrade to aftermarket clip-ons, it's not just new handlebars, because on the Aprilia, the stock clip-ons are integrated directly into the triple clamp. So I tore everything apart. Triple clamp, handlebars, clutch lever, and of course, because life enjoys laughing at me, I ordered the wrong brake lever. Alrighty then, now we've got the triple clamp. So we're going to go and install this because I can't move the bloody bike right now, can I? But look at the quality of this, honestly. There we go, look at that. It all began with a small drop. Left handlebar snapped clean, clutch lever folded like a cheap patio furniture. There was no saving it. Aprilia's integrated design meant that I had to upgrade, which, to be honest with you, you're going to have to purchase clip-ons and a triple clamp separately.
Now on the back of this, you can see that in place because there's two holes in it. And as you can see, there is another tab here. So when this is together, that will press in and it will tell the ECU that the clutch is disengaged.
Despite the damage, the bike was still solid structurally. I stripped off all the old clamps and meticulously aligned the new setup and torqued everything down. Surprisingly smooth, almost suspiciously smooth. And then came the grips. I thought a little WD-40 and brute force would work. Rookie mistake. The grip got stuck halfway and it felt like forcing a USB plug in the wrong way. So I decided to jump online and discovered the zip tie trick. Now all you need to do is place 4 zip ties on the inside and it magically slides on. A reminder that no matter how experienced you are, there's always a lesson waiting to humble you. Since in this case, I didn't have an air compressor. Well, the frustrations didn't end there. Next was the windshield, an absolute disaster. AliExpress special had oversized holes. The rubber grommets fell right through, and these little grommets aren't optional. They secure the windshield to the fairing, and if it flies off mid-ride, it's not just annoying, it's dangerous. Now, I installed a small frame cover near the right rear seat. It was simple, clean, and satisfying. Protection from boot scuffs, all done right. Finally the rear sets. Now this was a true test of patience because the RS660 makes it complicated. Now in order to remove the rear set, you actually have to remove the rear swing arm bolt because it runs directly through the rear seat brackets. Now to do that safely, the rear wheel has to stay lifted so there is no tension on the swing arm. So I had to rig up a forklift and straps connected under the rear seat cowl just to keep everything stable. Then came the challenge of navigating the swing arm clearances and making sure that the brake switch wasn't under any stress and getting every bolt and spacer back in the exact same spot. Now if you miss one detail, you'll feel it the second you throw your leg over. So whilst I was installing everything, I noticed that the tip of the rear brake switch module was damaged. No idea how it happened, but yeah, it was cooked. Luckily, replacements are cheap and I ordered a pack online for a few bucks. So not a big deal, just another thing added to the list. By the way, I noticed I've been saying rear set and rear seat very similarly in this video, so I apologize for that. I'm super dyslexic. But anyways, I moved on swapping out the rear seat for the rear cowl. Now, it looked good in theory until I realized that the color didn't match. The shade is slightly off and it sucks, but since I'm planning on wrapping the bike anyway, it's not the end of the world. Now, fitment, not great either. It requires a little bit of flexing and there's a slight misalignment, but honestly, for the price, it's passable. And it looks high quality even though it doesn't fit. Well, technically it does, but you just need a little bit of finessing to get it on there. And then I hit the roadblock, removing the rear passenger pegs. Now, one of the bolts was completely threaded. I had no choice to get the Dremel out and cut it. Now, there's a little bit of it still sticking out and I'll deal with it later. Not a big deal, but the pegs are off and that's all I needed. Next, I swapped out the fuel cap. Just a matter of removing several bolts, dropping in a new one, and presto, it's done. It looks good as well. And it feels really nice. It pops open without the key, closes with a solid snap. Genuinely one of the best feeling upgrades so far. Now I'm holding off installing the fender eliminator because the bike still needs to pass inspection. But once that's all done, I'll make a full video on that. So if you're following this build, make sure you're subscribed. Before wrapping it all up, I gave the bike a proper clean. And after everything it's been through, new parts, busted bolts, and a bit of blood, sweat and tears, it earned it. Now in the next episode, we're gonna go very deep into this build. We've got a full service, an up-map flash, velocity stacks, race air filter, fresh tires, and the build's just getting started. Oh, by the way, if you want quick updates and things like that, make sure you're following me on my Instagram because a lot of the stuff that happens first is posted there.